What do you think of when you think of African football? With the World Cup in South Africa 2010 not so long ago, it might be the fans with their spectacular homemade costumes and vuvuzelas to distract you from the fact that the football was, at times, a little bit boring. Maybe it's the big name players like Didier Drogba or Samuel Eto'o who make millions out of the sport by playing for the top European league sides, or the millions of kids across the continent who try to emulate them, dreaming of using football to get rich, famous and out of Africa. This short film isn't about them. It's about people who use sport in their community throughout the year who get together in the last month of June for the East Africa Cup. This is an extract of a 22-minute documentary filmed in Rwanda, Kenya, Burundi and Tanzania. We use local crews trained as part of the East Africa Cup's media development work. It tells a story of the teams involved and their long road to Moshi, Tanzania, for an event where the mornings are about youth education, the afternoons are about football and the evenings are about cultural activity. For some, the journey starts here in Mathare. It's one of Kenya's most notorious slums, and it's got all the classic problems associated with urban poverty. There's poor sanitation, the rubbish isn't always collected as soon as it should be, and it really does smell. But there's a lot of hope here. There's lots of banter, people making, selling and mending things, and it's a lively place. In fact, some people who have the option to move out, stay and give something back. And tell me about the East Africa Cup, does that motivate people? Maybe they're thinking, if I can get the chance to travel, they'll stick with their football, they'll stick with their books a bit longer.
Yeah, when I talk about the East Africa Cup, what I can say is that on the side of motivation, it really does a big motivation, especially to our young boys and girls who have never even gone outside their community. Like for example, when I talk about the young boys and girls from Dar es Salaam, you'll come to realize that we are having quite a number of them who've never even gone outside Nairobi. And when they get a chance to travel long distances, maybe like with these buses, and then they get a chance to enter the border and go to Tanzania, it's quite a big motivation to them.
One country that sends teams to the East Africa Cup is Rwanda. It's probably more famous for its turbulent history and the genocide of 1994 than it is for its athletic achievement. But Chris brings together young people in the spirit of fellowship and football. And you're looking forward to the East Africa Cup. That was the first time that you went abroad, I understand. The first time at the East Africa Cup when you went to Tanzania was the first time you'd actually left Rwanda.
Yes, I was very happy and I was amazed because in my plans and in my life I didn't think that I will have that experience of going outside of my country.
Even at a really difficult pub quiz, it's unlikely you'll get questions about Burundi. You probably can't name a famous Burundian, and its national football team is ranked 141st in the world, below Kazakhstan, Liechtenstein and the Faroe Islands. It's never qualified for World Cup, but it's sending people to the East Africa Cup for the first time. In sitting volleyball, young people with disabilities play alongside able-bodied youngsters. This can be really important in poor countries like Burundi, where life for young people with physical disabilities can be unimaginably hard. Seen as an economic burden or even a symbol of bad luck, some are forced to beg whilst living a precarious street life. Pappy's friend P also volunteers at CRISC, and as well as being part of our Kigali film crew, he's been involved in the filmmaking workshops in Moshi. Here's one of their short films.
160,000 kilometers traveled, 50,000 meals prepared, 2,100 football booths, 880 girls participating, 800 meters, a fan run with Wilson Kipketer, 720 boys participating, 360 minutes of artistic performance, 230 volleyball uniforms, 213 matches played, 91 teams, 30 buses, 9 countries, 1 goal, the East Africa Cup.
The East Africa Cup lasts a week. With morning classes, afternoon games and evening cultural activities, it's an exhausting business. not just for the players but also their leaders, as well as referees, coaches, physios, trainers and a hard-working support team whose job it is to make sure that the accommodation is ready, that everyone is fed and that the matches start on time. And it all comes together on finals day. After more than 200 matches, the best teams and the best of the losing teams play in the finals. There's a carnival atmosphere. By now most people know most people, and locals get involved too. There's a strong volunteer element to the event. As well as East African volunteers, there are links with organisations from Norway which both fund the East Africa Cup and send people over to work on putting it together. The games can be hard fought, although the biggest trophies don't just go to the winning teams but to the best all-round participants.
That's it, it's the end of the East Africa Cup. It's not just about the winning and the losing, it's about the education, it's about the friendship, it's about the fellowship, but it's the football that drives the passion behind this event, and there's some celebrating going on behind me.